And so it begins.
This saga begins.
The legend is born. There's something I've loved all my life,
Yes.
from long before I knew you, probably while I knew you, and I continue to love it to this day.
Oh, yes.
And that is trading cards, collector cards. They've always just tickled my brain in the best ways, whether it was cricket stickers or cards or Return of the Jedi or Batman movies and things like that. I've just always loved collecting cards, trying to get the whole set, and I just love they're small and compact and they've got information on them and they're a set. Oh, man, I love trading cards.
You do. You've always had some impressive collections. I've never been able to quite build a collection. I'd buy a packet of something, go, oh, I'll get into these, and then I'll just not buy another packet, and that packet will kick around in the drawer for years. But you've gone further. You've bought more packets.
Yeah, I've got a few sets over the years and things like that. I've had a few sets that didn't quite get there, but in later years I righted wrongs and things like that. But anyway, I've always wanted to make my own trading cards, to the point that when I was a kid playing backyard cricket with my friends, I would sometimes cut out little pieces of paper to cricket card size and draw pictures of us, but I was never very good at drawing, so my sort of hand-drawn backyard cricket collecting cards were never very good.
I would love to see those cards. Knowing your drawing, I would love to see those cards.
Anyway, Tim, the dream has become a reality, thanks to you, no less.
Yes.
Yeah.
No less.
I like the way you said yes, yes.
Yes, that's right. All thanks to me.
I have created, thanks to Tim and the Unmade podcast, my first ever set of really professionally made, well, they're not that professional because I designed them, but properly designed, properly manufactured collector cards.
Yes.
Tim, do you want to tell people what these collector cards are?
I can't believe the moment's arrived. I didn't actually know we were going to announce this today. I've been sitting on it for so long. So I haven't prepared a speech or anything like I normally would.
Right.
Or a PowerPoint presentation. But people will be very excited to know the spoons of the week have been made into collector cards. Spoon of the week collector cards will soon be available.
Indeed. I got the first pack in the post the other day and I FaceTimed Tim live in the middle of the night so he could watch me open them. That's how excited I was.
I was brushing my teeth at the time and I nearly swallowed my toothbrush with excitement.
So at the moment, it is a set of 23 cards. There may be expansions on the way as the Spoon of the Week canon grows, but for now there are 23 cards to collect. There'll be pictures and things on screen and in the notes. In fact, you can go to a specially commissioned website, spoon.cards, to find out more. Thank you, Hover. Spoon.cards. Yes. So you can check them out. Now, it hasn't been decided by us, and when I say us, I really mean me, how these cards are going to be distributed. Tim and I have discussed it, but we can't decide what to do. But at the moment, to start with, because I'm not yet ready to sell entire packs. I want there to be kind of serendipity involved and people having to trade and collect and try to get the set. I want to release them into the wild.
Again, I think an analogy with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is apt.
Yes.
Can you imagine, was Willy Wonka sitting around with a brains trust going, okay, we want these tickets to get out there. Yeah. How are we going to do it? I don't want to just give them away. I want to sneak them in. Do you reckon the Oompa Loompas were part of the brain trust?
Clearly, Willy Wonka wanted to sell more chocolate bars, and we want to get more stakeholders. We want more Patreon supporters.
Ah, yes.
So to start with, we're not going to put them in chocolate bars, but we are going to give them away to stakeholders. And the first batch of stakeholders to receive some cards in the post will be announced later in the episode during our Spoon of the Week segment. But in the meantime, I just want the excitement to grow about these trading cards because I am so proud of them.
They do look really impressive. They really do. They look fantastic. And they're informative too. All sorts of facts and figures are on them and information about the spoons. The sorts of things that people have been craving, I think. Maybe about this spoon, that spoon. Tell me, what does it weigh? How long is it?
Indeed, the Hine family was commissioned the Oompa Loompa grunt work of actually measuring and weighing the spoons for me. So that information is included on the trading cards. It's all there. It's all there. More information soon. Definitely the favourite piece of merch I've created so far, and that is saying something. Because I've created some ridiculous merch.
What about the big bath towel with my face on it? Surely every time you get out of the shower, you're just excited that you invented that one.
You know we're selling swimming towels now with your swimming medal on it as well.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Parish notices, Tim. Parish notices. In the last episode, I had a podcast idea which was all about things people do weirdly. Not weird things people do, but normal things that people do in a weird way.
Yes.
And we spoke about a few, and I think we've lit a match under the civilians here. And we've had lots and lots of responses, people letting us know about things they do weirdly, so I thought I'd share some of them now. Before I start, though, can I just thank all of those kind souls who assured me that my way of licking envelopes is not as weird as I thought. That kind of dabbing motion I do because of my fear of cutting tongues. I've had all sorts of anecdotes from people who've cut their tongues or share the fear and use similar techniques to me, so I feel somewhat vindicated and I feel more like a normal member of the human race again now. Thank you.
You sure? How far did you have to dig to find these to feel validated?
Yeah. The fear is real, Tim. The fear is real. Here is an email from Taylor in Florida. And this was a response to Tim's unusual way of eating ice cream. It says, Brady and Tim, I'm a new listener of the podcast, and episode 79's call to submit the weird ways we do things made me very excited to share my weird way that I eat ice cream. Tim, hopefully this will make you feel better. For the last 13 to 14 years, I've been eating ice cream with a baby spoon. It all started when some family friends left a baby spoon at our house by accident. The next day, after it had been washed, my family and I were eating some ice cream and I jokingly pulled out the baby spoon. Immediately, I was taken by how nice it was. Because the spoon is small, it allows me to stretch out the ice cream and enjoy it longer. The soft plastic is also very comfortable to eat with, a big improvement over the big cold metal spoon bouncing off your teeth.
Yes.
I unashamedly kept the baby spoon and I still use it to this day. My wife and family poke fun at me, but the joke's on them. I'm having a much nicer time with my ice cream.
That's.
I'm hearing Tim purring in the background there in agreement.
I actually think I was thinking ahead, going, actually that would be good. The cold spoon and yeah, it's avoided by the plastic. But you don't want a plastic spoon because you do want the steel bit at the scoopy end.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing I love is that he's still using the same one. Like that baby must be like 15 or 16 years old now.
I wonder if he does the scooping of the ice cream with that spoon, or if Taylor uses a proper scooper or a bigger spoon for that.
Yeah, because the metal is handy to sort of for mining the ice cream, particularly if it's Ben & Jerry's and you hit a good seam and you want to mine that seam of marshmallow or caramel and like dig through the ice cream. You need the metal spoon there for mining purposes.
There should be some sort of radar available across the top of the ice cream that goes beep, 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 where you know that there is a seam of like boysenberry or chocolate just under the surface.
Yeah. Or you could put your ice cream in like an MRI scanner beforehand so you know exactly where all the best seams are.
Yes, 3-dimensional. That's perfect. Yes. You just know, hang on, stick to the left-hand side, follow down a little bit in, a little bit. There it all is. That's the gold. Yeah. Nice.
Before you even start, you know where it is. Then you could like get like an electric saw and cut in from the side of the container and save it and even go down through the top.
That's right. Or use dynamite to blow out the bottom so you can like they do
just
in
little
mining.
little mini fun-sized dynamites. Like, you know, nothing dangerous.
Just to blow a hole and then sort through it with some sort of, you know, large machinery. Just to bring it. Can I just say that we have a disproportionate number of spoons in our cutlery drawer. This is the normal spoon, dessert spoons, with like bent stems where...
Did you have Uri Geller around for dinner again?
That's right, which I've done with my mind. Well, where you're digging into the ice cream and sure enough it bends and then it bends back and then your partner says, use the the ice cream scoop, and it's like, I have to walk all the way over and get that. I want to use the same one I'm about to use, and sure enough, they all end up a little bit wonky.
I don't think we own an ice cream scoop. We don't eat a lot of ice cream in this house, to be fair, so yeah. Got another email, Tim. This one comes from Crystal. For the first 25 years of my life, my now ex-husband couldn't figure out why all his T-shirts always got worn out first on the back, to the point where there was eventually big holes in the fabric between his shoulder blades, while the rest of the shirt was intact. It was only when he met me that he learned everyone else isn't taking off their T-shirts by raising both their arms up and behind their shoulders, grabbing that nugget of fabric between the shoulders and pulling it up and over so the neck hole comes up first and off first, then the back of the shirt, followed by the sleeves, and then the front torso. He has since remarried, and I assume wife number 2 finds this equally perplexing.
That's great. They're just slowly wearing. Nice.
Like grabbing between your shoulder blades, your T-shirt between your shoulder blades, and like ripping it off. That's like something a WWF wrestler would do or something.
That's how Hulk Hogan takes his shirt off. I generally just sort of flex a little bit, and then I find that the T-shirt just drops to the floor in about 4 pieces. That's right.
I'm surprised you can get any T-shirts over those biceps of yours, but anyway.
That's over my massive Muppet-like head. That's the real challenge.
All right, we're on to the subreddit now. Lots of people are on the subreddit sharing their things they do weirdly. Plagiarism22 says, I wash my feet in the sink, which I imagine is relatively common.
What?
Washing your feet in the sink.
How do you get them up there?
I don't know. Plagiarism22 is obviously more flexible than us.
Goodness gracious, I wouldn't dare. I'd be in all sorts of trouble. Like physically as well as with the family.
Pull a hamstring. Here's Shirayuri. My own weird thing. I love what I call pasta sandwiches. Anytime I have a bowl of pasta, I have a slice of bread and put some pasta on it and fold it and eat it like a sandwich. This was a normal thing in my house while I was growing up, and I assumed everyone did it. But since moving out, I've discovered other people definitely did not grow up doing this. I'm sticking with it, though.
That's strange. Like eating Italian food like it's Indian food.
Yeah. That's like carbs in your carbs. That's a lot of carbs happening there.
Yeah. I can't pretend that's not at least a little bit tempting, but...
Oh, no. I love the sound of it. And in fact, on the same subreddit, Mind Times chipped in and said, me too, sort of. I like having leftover pasta on toast for next day lunch.
I like the meat, like the bolognese on toast the next day, but I'm not sure I have the pasta itself on. I'm going to need to experiment here before I come to a final decision about what I think.
How about this from Exo Kokodo? For me, it is how I eat sandwiches. I prefer to eat them top down, layer by layer, instead of side to side.
What?
I'm aware that it's weird, so I wouldn't always eat that way in front of other people. Top down. So you go bread, filling, bread.
How do you do that? How wide is this guy's mouth?
I don't
How do they fit the whole slice in at once?
I don't think it worked. That's a good point, actually. How does that work?
They surely would bite through the middle and they'd come through the other end like Jack Nicholson in The Shining and pop out the other end.
Here's Exocoyodo. How about this from Chocolate Spread? They say, I peel bananas upside down. Instead of snapping from the stem, I dig into the tip and peel it that way. I saw it on the internet as a kid, and I've done it that way ever since. I'm only reminded that it's not the normal way of doing it when someone points it out to me. And then Fluffy Parasite chipped in and said, I break bananas in half. That makes peeling it even easier. It only works with rather fresh bananas, though.
Yes, or it gets a bit squishy.
I am sometimes known to get a knife and sort of slit the banana down its length and then just unwrap the peel that way. I do that sometimes.
Okay. That if it's difficult to get into, or just you'll do it right from the beginning?
Just because it's you can have a mishap peeling a banana and like break the banana, or especially doing it from the stem. I don't know. I just find it an easier, more kind of surgical way to get at my banana.
All right.
I don't do it all the time. It's just if I'm in the kitchen and, it's particularly if I'm doing something like chopping it up to make a smoothie or something. So I've got a knife nearby. I'll just go zoop, right down the length and then just open it like a shirt without buttons.
I sometimes make a small incision and put a straw in and then just suck the banana.
I used dynamite left over from my Ben & Jerry's the night before. I'd so want a video of you sucking a banana out through a straw. All right. Here's another one. This is from the Golden Viatori. I do things weirdly. Walking. Apparently, I move my knees higher than most people, but I don't pay attention to how high people's knees go. Drinking. When I take a few sips of a drink, I move the cup a few centimetres from my mouth, and then my lips move up. I had no idea I did this until I saw a video of myself drinking water.
So you meet the cup halfway. That's very diplomatic.
Yeah, there you go. And just lastly, one last thing about things that are done weirdly. Obviously, Tim, derided me for the coat hangers I had as a boy and even as a teenager that had what I've seen some people dub as hanger cozies. These are these sort of knitted or crocheted, fluffy, colourful covers for your coat hangers. And which my grandmother made, and I guess I just thought all coat hangers had them, and I just and because who buys new coat hangers? Not me. So I just had them for years and years into my teen years. Anyway, we discussed this on the podcast last week, and my sister, who I didn't tell about this, but obviously listened and heard this kind of desecration of our childhood memories, and she sent me a picture, which I'll share now in the notes and on the description. And it turns out she was the same because, my nan obviously did these hanger cozies for her too. And she was so attached to them, she's actually kept one. And on her travels around the world, she's lived in Europe and Asia, and now she's back in Australia. She's been all over the world. She kept one of them with its cozy that she still uses to this day, and she sent me a photo of it. And it brought back such warm memories seeing one of the actual ones that we had. So if you want to see an actual Nan-made hanger cozy from the Harron family archives, go and check it out.
I have to say, I have been inundated with people telling me that those are the hangers that they continue to use.
Right.
In fact, this week I went to meet with someone in their home to have a meeting, and just like without even mentioning it, like I walk in and they're sitting on the coffee table is one of those hangers, and I go, oh gosh, and they go, yeah, see, I use them. People are quite defensive about them. I
don't want to stereotype, Tim, but I'm imagining the people in your congregation have a higher proportion of hanger cozies than the average man in the street.
No, I have to say this. No, this was younger people. But there's quite a few. Let me just push this a little bit further though, and just say that your explanation that you were given them as a child and they just felt normal, and so you just kept using them because they would just seem like that explanation would also work for nappies. Like, are you still wearing nappies because they were handy as a child and they just seemed comfortable and practical and had a purpose? Just because I'm 45 doesn't mean that,
You're really doubling down on desecrating my fond memories of my nan, aren't you?
I'm not desecrating her. Look, she's perfectly legitimate and appropriate for her to make them. I just thought it was wonderful that you used them.
All right. You got off without having an idea in the last episode of the podcast. So do you want to start us off today with an idea for a podcast?
I do. But let me warn you, I've done a bit of preparation, which is rarely a good idea when it comes to my ideas.
I promise you are not better prepared with your idea than I am with mine.
Oh, really?
People are going to get two very well-prepared ideas today. All right.
Certainly no promise of quality, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. All right. What you got?
Against my better instincts, I'm going to start with the name of this podcast. And I have 5 ideas of a name here. The first name is Versus. And you're thinking, oh, this is a podcast about Pearl Jam's second album, isn't it, Tim? I hope so. but no. No. Or it could be called Or it could be called Pick a Side or Rivalry or Preference. I don't know. I'm 100% sure you will come up with a better name later on and make me feel stupid because it's so bleeding obvious. But anyway, this is a podcast where people need to decide their preference, where there is one over another, and determine what that says about them. So let me go through it a little bit. There's a lot of choices in life, and they're kind of binary choices where there's one option over another. I'm going to ask you some of these, and I want we'll just see where it adds up.
I think I know. By the way, I think I know the name already for you.
Oh, yeah?
Head to head.
Head to head. That's good. Well done. Yes. Nice. That's great. All right. Let's start the recording again. All right. My idea is called head to head. All right?
Right. Yeah.
And we go through.
Give me my binary choices.
Okay. Mac or PC?
Mac.
Okay. Ice cream or icy pole? Oh, I know you call them ice lollies or something in England, don't you?
Okay. Yeah. Ice cream.
Are you a cone or a cup?
If it's waffle style, cone. If it's that kind of cardboardy style, then cup.
Right. Okay. The Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Beatles.
What about the Beatles or Elvis?
Beatles.
Revolver or Sgt. Pepper? These are Beatles albums for those who are not aware.
I don't know them well enough to make a decision there.
Okay. Disney or Pixar?
Pixar.
All right. Shorts or pants? What do you prefer to wear?
Oh, you mean like long, like trousers? Because pants means underwear in England.
Long pants, like around the house. If temperature's not a factor, shorts or long pants?
I'm gonna go long.
Peyton Manning or Tom Brady?
Well, the answer's in the name there. It's got to be a Brady.
Fair enough. Aaron Burr or Hamilton?
Hamilton.
Okay. Adolf Hitler or Winston Churchill?
I'm going to go Churchill there.
Enid Blyton or J.K. Rowling?
Enid Blyton.
All right. VHS or Beta?
VHS.
Early episodes of MASH with Henry, Trapper and Frank, or later MASH with Potter, BJ and Charles?
Early.
Okay. All right. Dostoevsky or Tolstoy?
No idea.
Blur or Oasis?
Oasis.
Are you a lover or a fighter?
I love a good fight.
That's a conundrum. If you're a lover of fighting. If you had to choose law or medicine?
Oh, that's a good one. I think I would choose law.
And I think this is the last one, but you can probably think of some more. Are you a singer or dancer?
Dancer.
Right.
Yeah.
You're pretty cool. I agree with that. Can you think of some more? There's a lot of these binaries in life, aren't there? Head to head.
All right. For you, cricket or football?
Oh, football.
Right. Oh, sorry. Were you unwilling to answer because it was such a patently obvious question?
I paused because I couldn't decide and then answered with a tone that suggested that it's a bleeding obvious question.
All right. Or I just named Tim's daughters. But seriously, which one? Adelaide or Melbourne?
Now I'd say Adelaide.
Left or right?
I have to go back to your out of 10. I'd give left 9 out of 10. I'd give right maybe 9.5 out of 10. So right wins.
Okay. Nick Cave or C.S. Lewis?
Oh, that's a really good one. I have to say C.S. Lewis.
Ah, nice. Right. Oxford or Cambridge?
I've never been to Cambridge and I've been to Oxford, so I'll have to say Oxford. And C.S. Lewis spent most of his life in Oxford. When I say I've been to Oxford, I mean I've visited Oxford.
Yeah. Yeah. I studied in Oxford. I studied the KFC menu.
I did. I literally went to KFC in Oxford.
Did it taste different?
It was disappointing. I don't know. I was just like, oh, well, I would have been hoping it was better than that. Being in Oxford, I don't know why. There's something about having a world-class university that means their fried chicken should be of a higher quality. But I don't know what the link is there. But.
I have a podcast idea that's sort of similar to this but different. But I'll push it back a few more episodes now so that it's not too... It's sufficiently different that I'm going to do it as an idea, but it does mean I have to delay that idea a bit now. I think this is a good idea for a podcast, Tim. In fact, this is a very strong contender for one that we should record like an actual demo episode of and do for longer, don't you think? Because this could be quite good fun if we each came up with really long lists.
Yeah, and you've got maybe a time limit to answer them.
Yeah,
with a sense of pressure. And I'm sure, and I'd love to hear suggestions as well about others. I was making this long list today, but I'm sure there are other really obvious head-to-heads that are out there.
There's a million. Would you like to swim in an ocean or a lake?
No, that's a good guy. An ocean, I think.
Okay.
What about you? Ocean or lake?
Yeah, probably the ocean. The lake does have some advantages, but... All right, let's move on. Tim, sponsoring today's episode, once again, is NordVPN.
Whoa, good stuff.
Have you signed up yet? I've been using NordVPN for ages.
Yeah.
You've signed up too?
I did.
You happy with the product?
I am, yes. Right. I feel safe.
Good. NordVPN is a virtual private network. You can put the app, you can have it on your phone, you have it on your computer. Go to nordvpn.com/unmade and use the promo code unmade for a special offer that I will explain shortly. Let me go through a few key points about why you should have NordVPN. Part of the protection that they're offering you are what they call obfuscated servers, which is quite a posh term. Obfuscated servers, which basically means you can better hide your internet traffic for maximum security. They had, at last count, nearly 5,500 servers in 59 countries. They have a strict no logs... Oh, can you hear that banging?
I heard something.
Either someone is using a sledgehammer next door or someone's trying to hack into my computer, but they're not going to get in because I've got NordVPN. NordVPN have a strict no logs policy. They don't track, collect, or share your private data, and you can use one NordVPN account on up to 6 devices. So I have it on my Mac here, I have it on my phone. It's brilliant. I'll tell a little story about VPNs and just how useful they are for sort of concealing your location. I find it useful because I often want to see what websites look like from other countries. Like if I'm telling people, go to Amazon or go and look at this website, and then people will tweet me back saying, oh, it looks different to what you said, Brady. That's because I didn't know what it looked like. So these days, if I'm ever sharing something, I'll quite often change my NordVPN server to the Netherlands or France or America, and then I'll visit the website to see what the website looks like from those locations. That's a really useful use of the VPN. I was in China, though, a while ago, and I was talking to some uni students, and I was saying, I make YouTube videos, and then I was sort of condescendingly saying to them, well, you probably have never seen my videos because, it's on YouTube, and I know YouTube is blocked in China. And they just looked at me like I was an idiot, and they said, we do have VPNs, you realise?
Ah.
And then I was like, oh, okay. So, everyone in China's got a VPN. NordVPN, if you will get a huge discount on a 2-year plan on NordVPN if you go to nordvpn.com/unmade. There's also a link in the notes. Use the code unmade and you will get an extra month for free. You also get Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Take control of your internet experience today with NordVPN. Oh. And that banging next door has stopped. They obviously were repelled by my VPN.
Nice work. Or just the enthusiasm you were bringing into your voice.
Tim, we have a new Sofa Shop cover that I'm very excited to share with you.
I've not heard this.
No, I've kept it from you. I've kept it from you on purpose.
Right.
This is an email from Yasira, who says, Hi, Tim and Brady. There is a rumour going around, I don't know if it's true, but it is said that Tim's dad might be of Dutch descent.
Oh.
Is this true, Tim? Is your dad of Dutch descent?
I'll have to look into that. Let me write that down. That's quite a...
Yasira continues, I've wanted to contribute to the Sofa Shop cover madness for a while now, so I thought that, since I'm Dutch, I could honour Tim's heritage by making a cover in my beautiful native language. I tried to keep the lyrics as close as possible to the original, but gave rhyming the priority over translation precision. Making this was super fun, so I hope you both enjoy it. So what Yasira has done here, Tim, is sent me the lyrics in Dutch and then sent me a Dutch to English translation. So it's not exactly the same lyrics, obviously, when it goes back to English. So before I play it, I thought we should read out the lyrics, firstly in Dutch. And seeing, Tim, you are the Dutchman here, I thought I would give you the honour of reading out the lyrics in Dutch, if you wouldn't mind. If I send them to you, would you be willing to read them for us?
Yes, I will.
Okay, here they come.
I should add I don't know Dutch.
Yes, that's why I'm doing this.
I haven't spoken Dutch since I was 3.
Okay, so if you would like to do the honours there, Tim, read us these lyrics in Dutch.
Am I allowed to pre-read them?
No, just go.
All right.
Just jump in. Just jump in.
Okay, de sofa shop is de enge winkel voor de bank die je wilt. De sofa shop, yeah. Yeah. Seems to be the same in English as Dutch. Kom in keer langs. We iedereen is in Bankentwerp. Ook passen der Gorgenen superscherp! Exclamation mark. De sofa shop is spot Gudenkoop. Ja, hier ze zit ze goed. Stop. No, what? They do it? Stop, no, what? They do it? Stop what you're doing, I think that is. En bewonder de sofa shop! Exclamation mark.
All right.
Bewonder de sofa shop. I like that. Nice.
Bewonder de sofa shop. That is nice. Here is it translated back into English. So obviously the lyrics have changed as a result of this process.
The sofa shop is your only stop for the sofa you need.
The sofa shop is the only store for the sofa you want.
The sofa shop, yeah, come and drop in.
The sofa shop, yeah, come by sometime.
We have a sofa designed for you.
There's a sofa design for everyone.
Choose your fabric, match your curtains too.
The curtains match sharply too.
The sofa shop ain't gonna cost what you think it will.
The sofa shop is super cheap. Yes, you sit well here.
Don't you do a thing until you see the sofa shop.
Stop what you're doing now and admire the sofa shop. And apparently the you sit well here is quite a pun in Dutch, because you sit well here is another way of saying this is the right place for you. So there's a bit of a double meaning going on there. Very clever.
Oh, yeah.
I will now play for people Yasira's version of the sofa shop in Dutch.
De sofa shop is de enige winkel voor de bank die je wil. De sofa shop, ja, kom een keer langs. Voor iedereen is een bank op bed. Ook als ze de gordijnen super vet. De sofa shop is goedkoop, ja, hier zit je goed. Stop nu wat je doet en bewonder de sofa shop.
Now, Tim, you did such a good job with the Dutch there, in quote marks there. How would you like to have an attempt at singing along in Dutch? You up for that?
Would I? Wow.
Hang on, let me send you the file.
All right.
De
Sofa shop is de eng winkel voor de bank die je wilt. De sofa shop, yeah, kom in keer langs. Voor iedereen is een Bankentwerp. Oppas in de guggen en super sharp. De sofa shop is spotted goedkoop. Ja hier zip ze goed. Zo nu de wat de duet de bewonder de sofa shop. I wonder if I could become a Dutch rap star. You know, like I really think I could rap this a lot better than I sing it.
I thought you were rapping it.
Did I forget a melody? I love that bewonder is admire.
Yeah.
I love it. Bewonder de sofa shop. I'd love a T-shirt that just says bewonder de sofa shop.
Tim, done. Done and done. Link in the show notes. Get your Bewonder de Sofa Shop t-shirt now. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Yasira. Unmadefm@gmail.com if you would like to send us a cover. Now, Tim, it's time for Spoon of the Week.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Wow.
All right. Good one today. Really good one.
Just holding the spoon is exciting now. Just knowing that it's going to one day soon appear on a Spoon of the Week card, collector card, that in itself, it's just like they're going to have a whole other life.
And what is the spoon, pray tell? What spoon are we about to bewonder?
Well, I tell you, we've gone with something different this time. Something that's a little bit, shall I say, space age.
Ooh.
And this is a spoon. Sorry, Brady, I need to bring my voice down. This is a spoon from the Brisbane Transit Centre.
Right.
Now, can I say this is quite a handsome picture of the Brisbane Transit Centre, or the Transit Centre in Brisbane, Australia, which apparently has become quite a legendary building, and which in the little picture, the spoon itself has a picture of said transit centre, which makes it look like a space station. Like, it looks awesome. But apparently it didn't turn out to be quite as handsome as it appears in this space age looking drawing on the spoon, which maybe was given out in the conceptual stage. Look, it's a very small spoon. I mean, they're all small. I don't think I need to say small anymore. It's about a normal size spoon, similar to a baby spoon you'd use, for instance, to eat ice cream. The stem is quite handsome, but simple, with streaming lines. It's a very small, I think quite pointy, scoopy bit down the end.
I wouldn't know, Tim, because that part of the spoon in the photo you sent me is concealed by your thumbnail, and people now realise that you are quite a thumbnail biter. So if there's, it kind of looks like London after the Blitz.
Maybe I'll send you another photograph.
It makes the building look much prettier, I'll say that.
Maybe I should release a commemorative spoon of my thumbnail.
So anyway, this spoon has obviously been minted and made to commemorate this building, this transit centre, when it was new in Brisbane.
Yes.
And as I understand it, transit centre, basically, it's a bus station.
Yes. The thing that I've come to realise, firstly, two things. One is I've got some intel from Mum about why she has this, why this was in our possession.
Wow.
Because it's not part of a collection. I haven't seen any other transit centre, commemorative spoons in the collection.
No.
This is not commemorating something natural. It's a piece of architecture, and that's pretty rare. The message from Mum said, I stayed there on the way up or on the way home from Papua New Guinea. I remember driving over the Brisbane Bridge. I must have bought it then. That's what she said. So, straight from Mum, the intel that confirms.
Straight from the horse lover's mouth.
That's right. That's right. The interesting thing, when I was looking up some intel on the Brisbane Transit Centre, it's just like last year been demolished, which is
That increases the value of the spoon.
It does. It's the only thing left. It's just last year been demolished, and before it was demolished, apparently it was quite legendary around Brisbane as being the ugliest building in Brisbane.
Wow.
I don't think it looks that ugly. It certainly looks pretty cool and 1960s, 70s spacey and stuff on the spoon. Obviously, the architects didn't see this spoon, and they've just gone ahead and built something that's quite brutalist and
they didn't follow the guidance on the spoon.
That's right. I would have loved to have seen the foreman on the building site just holding up the spoon in front and then looking at the building and looking back at the spoon and going, "Yep, it needs a white column along there."
Nice.
So-
Well, it's not often you see spoons commemorating bus stations, so I think this is a fabulous addition to the collection, and I'm grateful to you and your mum for sharing it with us all today.
Well, Mum did the hard yard. She's the one that actually went there.
Yeah.
Or early on in the 1960s, knowing that one day this spoon would be of great significance to you and I. It's going to look particularly good on the card, I think. That's why I'm excited about it.
Well, what we usually do at this point is we give away one of our very own Unmade podcast commemorative spoons to one of our stakeholders, one of our Patreon supporters. We will do that again today. How will we choose today's winner, Tim? You got any random ideas?
Well,
Should we? How about we demolish a building?
Yes.
And then go, look. So I'll do that now. So now we have all these bricks and all this rubble.
Yep.
And I have written the name of a stakeholder on each brick, and whichever brick you randomly pull from the rubble will be today's winner.
Well, I'm going to look for a brick that doesn't have a chunk of concrete attached to it. You know how some of them have bits on them you have to clean off? I'm going to look for the cleanest brick I can. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, here's a nice one. There we go. Oh,
And-
it's heavier than I thought.
And what a wonderful coincidence. Today's winner is from the Netherlands. Today's spoon winner is Bart from the Netherlands. Bart from the Netherlands, we are going to post you a spoon. This is a quick reminder, by the way. Make sure your postal addresses on Patreon are up to date. Otherwise, we're going to be sending your stuff to the wrong address. And now, Tim, if you can pull out another 10 bricks just quickly for us. Just rummage around there.
Oh, gosh, 10. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll grab... There's one there.
Right,
And
just pile them up. And while Tim piles them up, we are about to
another one.
announce 10 people who will be sent the
Not that
first batch of cards, Spoon of the Week cards. You'll
we
just be
go.
sent a few. You're not getting a whole set. This is we're just seeding the community with cards so you
go.
can start collecting.
those two are attached, so I'll put them together. Here we go. Yep.
Funny you should say that.
All right, I'm going to... Hang on. Yep.
All right, that's enough action, man. Yeah, that's good. All right. Okay, here are the you're getting a bit in character there. Here are the 10 winners. We have Stephen P from Washington State, Shari P from Canada, Karen W from Canada, Thomas N from the Netherlands, Anna D from Scotland, Zach B from California, Anne H from California, Jared C from North Carolina, Richard D, again Washington State, and Mike B from Illinois. You all have cards coming your way. And interestingly, we have a couple from California and a couple from Washington State. So maybe they're close enough to each other to start a bit of in-person trading.
Oh, yes.
You know, I'll swap you
Indeed.
that Adelaide spoon card for my Canada spoon card, that kind of stuff.
I don't know if we mentioned that we not only have a card for all of the spoons of the week, but we do also have it's a bit of a wild card, special one, with the Unmade podcast spoon on it as well.
Ooh,
that is
yes,
a bit of a gold.
That's card number one. That's card one and a real collector's item.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, go to spoon.cards for more information. And let us know if you've got any ideas as well about how you think we should be, distributing the spoons and stuff.
Massive spoon of the week, that was, really.
Big.
With the announcement.
Big.
And the transit centre.
Big. It was huge. Huge. It'll be long remembered in the spoon community.
Especially because you demolished a building. I don't think that was necessary.
Well, you got to pick your winners fairly. We have another sponsor today, Tim. It's Ting.
Ting, yes. Good.
Ting.
Nice.
Ting. Thank you, Ting. Ting Mobile. No contracts. Switch over to Ting as your mobile phone service provider. Mobile phone service providers, a lot of them are going to rip you off. They're real bandits, but not Ting, because Ting realised that paying for a bunch of data every month that you may not use, because you're not using data if you're at home on your Wi-Fi and, in the office and stuff like that, you shouldn't be paying for that data. You should only pay for the data you use, and that's what Ting's all about. So they've got a bunch of plans, like their Flex plan, their Set 5 plan, and their coveted Unlimited plan. There's all these plans you can sign up for where you're paying small fee for your talk and your texts, and then you're paying for the data you use. It's a much fairer way to go. Ting also has award-winning customer support through phone, chat, email, social media, and Tim's personal favourite, they even have their own Discord at ting.com/Discord. So Tim, next time you're on Discord, you can go and get your Ting customer service.
Nice. Yes.
Do you know what Discord is?
I do. Yes.
You do?
I do. Yes.
Do you use it?
No.
Right,
No.
okay.
But but I know what it is because it's used by like people in the people that I know, people that I work with. So I'm familiar with it.
If you switch to Ting, by the way, they do work on pretty much any phone. It says here it works on the latest iPhone, Galaxy, Pixel devices. I don't know if it works on those old Bakelite rotary phones. That's not listed here, but I like to think Ting would work on that too.
Yeah.
So move your phone over to Ting Mobile today and get $25 credit by going to unmade.ting.com. That's $25 credit. Unmade.ting.com. You'll be able to keep your phone number, of course. This is, by the way, I think Ting is still only available in America. So if you're outside America and dreaming of moving to Ting, you either have to move to America or wait till Ting spreads a bit wider. But for now, you Americans, get on the case.
Give Ting a ring.
Give Ting a ring. Or give them a whatever you do on Discord, a poke or a thumbs up or a... I don't know what the lingo is for Discord. Swipe left or whatever.
No.
Do whatever you got to do, but get yourself some Ting. It's time for my idea.
I think we're out of time today.
Oh, no. I've done way too much research to not do this.
All right. We'll see if it makes the edit, but go down.
My idea is called The Great, 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 Great Podcast.
Right.
Now, this comes from a message, an email I got from John after in the last episode we talked quite a bit about Big Ben for reasons people may remember. And then I got this email and it said, "Hi, I have just listened to episode 79 and thought you might like to know that my great-great-great-great-grandfather was John Warner, who ran the metalworks that cast Big Ben and the other Westminster chimes. Big Ben later cracked in transit and was recast by another company. I have no special access to get the sofa shop plate on the bells, and I'm not asking to be a colonel or anything. I just wanted to let you know that you have a stakeholder with a family connection. From John." So the current bell wasn't cast by John's great-great-great-great-grandfather. It actually never made it up into the clock tower because it cracked.
All right.
But the first bell was made by John Warner's company. And John Warner's foundry and bell makers and stuff, I think, were a big deal back in the day. So anyway, thank you, John, for letting us know that. And so my idea, the Great, 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 Great Podcast, is a podcast where people come on and talk about their great, 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 great grandparents. It has to be 4 greats. I don't care about 3 greats. I don't care about 5 greats. I want your great, 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 great grandparents. And tell us a story. John's got a story. Have you got a story about yours, Tim?
Nice idea. No, I don't. No.
No?
I could find out. I do know there is some research done on both sides, my paternal and maternal side, by members of the family. I just don't have it at hand.
You'd be surprised. It's a fair way back.
It is.
Don't worry, Tim, if you haven't got a story to tell, because I do.
Right.
Now, by way of background, I think you knew this, Tim, but for about a year in the 1980s, my mum became absolutely obsessed with researching our family history. She basically took a year off of life, and this was before the internet, so she took a year off in genealogical societies and libraries and old council halls and dragging us kids all around South Australia, knocking on strangers' doors, trying to find out information, researching our family history to the nth degree. And then she made this incredible leather-bound tome all about our family. It was a magnificent feat. I know it's hard to believe that I have a parent that obsessively does projects like this after how I turned out, but that's just my mum. So
I have seen these tomes, yes.
yes, quite because it's not just, John begat Bill who begat Sandy. She would find out that John worked in a bakery that opened from 10 till 6 on Tuesdays and sold pies for 3 shillings. Like, she was all into all that level of detail.
Yeah, right.
And even after she'd finished her research, there was a slight hole that always irked her that related to my great-great-great-great-grandparents going up hers and then my grandfather's side, up along that branch of the family. All that was known was that there was this guy who turned up in South Australia at the 3 great level, and he had come from Tasmania, and nothing was known about his parents at the 4 great level, just that they were Tasmanian, from the state of Tasmania, the island of Tasmania in Australia.
Yeah.
So, I know you know. This is for other people. Right?
I'm reasonably sure where Tasmania is, man.
I know you know. You have Tasmanian connections too. But now, here's another little bit of background for people before I reveal the next piece of the puzzle. And that is, if you're from South Australia, one of your sort of claims to fame is that South Australia was not a convict penal colony when Australia was started as a convict colony. When people joke about Australians, you're all a bunch of convicts, you all come from robbers and stuff like that, South Australians will sniffily say, oh, no, we were all free settlers in South Australia. It's quite like a point of pride. You can't call us convicts. But over the years, I think as the past becomes more distant, it's almost become like a bit of a source of pride for Australians. And if you can trace your heritage back to convicts, that's almost become a bit of a cool thing now. Because that's the first people, having relatives on the Mayflower or something.
Yeah.
So my mum always, I think, secretly hoped that those Tasmanian great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were somehow convicts. And in the last year or so, she's found out more about them. And spoilers, they were convicts. And I'm going to tell you the story now. This is my convict heritage. Now, best of all, my great-great-great-great-grandparents are called Joseph and Mary. How good's that?
No.
Yes. Mary and Joseph. Now,
how far back did you say you looked?
Here we go. So, let me tell you, Joseph Pendle was in Cambridgeshire in England, and he was sentenced to death for stealing a mare from a man named Nathaniel Wedd. He was a horse thief.
Wow.
He was sentenced to death, but it was commuted, and instead he was sentenced to transportation to Australia in 1803. And then 2 bits of serendipity happened. First of all, he was put on a ship called the HMS Calcutta, and that was captained by quite a responsible captain who took quite good care of all the other convicts and people on the ship. So he didn't die on the trip over, which a lot of convicts did. And the second bit of serendipity was he was supposed to go to a convict colony in Melbourne, in Victoria, in Australia. But when they got there, conditions were so terrible, they decided, we can't put the convicts here. We're going to continue on to the convict colony in what is now Hobart, in Tasmania. So he found his way to Tasmania as a convict. Now, a bit later, a woman named Mary Hambleton, or Mary Hamilton, spelling and names are a bit interchangeable these days, and I have to tell you, both Joseph and Mary were illiterate. But we think it's Mary Hambleton, was given a 7-year term for stealing a watch in Dublin, transported to Australia in November 1815 and arrived in April 1816. They married in Tasmania in 1819. So Joseph, I think, basically eventually got let out and given some land.
Yeah.
And he married Mary in 1819. And you can see their wedding registration. I'll link to it. And they signed their wedding registration with crosses because they couldn't write. She was 25 and he was 45. But it seems like Mary was a bit of a wild child because even after they got married, she spent a fair bit of time in and out of custody and workhouses for doing all sorts of naughty things. She was put in stocks once for being drunk and disorderly. She stole a dress, which got her in a lot of trouble and got her locked up again. She assaulted another woman, and she stole the dress 7 years after getting married. So she was obviously still, causing problems.
Yeah, right.
But the year after she stole the dress and got locked up again for a while, they had a son named William in 1827. And it was William who eventually moved to South Australia and continued the family line that resulted ultimately in one of the world's premier podcasters, me. Joseph and Mary, convicts in Tasmania, back in the day. How exciting!
How many generations back does it mention coat hangers? Like, is it something that's in the...
The coat hangers, yeah.
Did they bring their coat hangers out, or did they have to knit them here?
If only she'd been locked up for stealing a coat hanger.
That would be gold.
I love that my great-great-great-great-grandfather is a horse thief. And also, respect to Mary for stealing a watch, because I love watches as well. I feel like the writing was on the wall.
Yeah. Well, you're such a horseman, you see. That's right.
I am. Do you wish that you came from convicts?
I don't have a particular desire or aversion to it, I guess. It's never been... Because Dad came out so recently on his side, like he came out in the 1950s, so I've never really thought about that history.
Do you think maybe your dad was on the run? Was he a horse thief too?
Maybe.
I can imagine your dad stealing a horse. He had that little twinkle in his eye.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind stealing a horse.
It's grand theft thoroughbred, really, isn't it? Is it not Grand Theft Auto? That's what the computer games would have been back in the day.
Joseph Pendle, Mary Hambleton, star-crossed lovers who met on the Green Mile.
The other side of my family, the maternal, is Scottish. So yours, they're almost exclusively English. Is that right?
English and Irish, a lot of Irish.
Bit of Irish too. Ah, right, yes.
So just recently, my wife and I did, those DNA tests where they tell you your heritage.
I was about to ask you about that then. Yes.
Yeah, we just did it. And the results came back, and her results came back before mine. My wife's English. I'm obviously Australian. So she got her results, and it came, she came back very English, but it was 60 or 70%, and the rest was sort of Northern European. And we joked, and that was it. It was all English and Northern European. So, we joked, oh yeah, that's, what do you expect? Mine came back. I was 99% English and Irish. Crazy levels. She was so disappointed. She was so proud that she was so English and was lording it over me as the convict Australian. And then my results came back and I was way more English than her.
That's classic.
I was crazy English and British and nothing else. It was ridiculous.
Do you think that after you read those results, the rest of the day and the next day, your accent changed at all? Did you find yourself speaking in a different way and starting to wear a top hat and things like that,
Very much so. I just started moaning about the weather a lot more.
That's right. And stealing horses. Going flipping rain, have to steal the horse in the rain. Yeah.
I want to track down and try and find the place where the horse was stolen in Cambridgeshire. That's going to be one of my new missions.
Oh, yeah. And make amends. You're going to buy them a horse. Oh, man. Well done.
Oh, that would be brilliant. Find the descendants of the person from whom the horse was stolen, because I know who that is, and give them a horse to make amends.
Do you have a spare horse?
Well, no, but how hard can it be to buy a horse? I just made trading cards, man.
Well, ask one of your servants to go get one for you. Purchase one in the village and bring it back.
Do you want to get to work and see if you can find out a bit about your great-great-great-great-grandparents?
I would like to. I know that information is out there. It wouldn't take long. I am also intrigued by the DNA test too. I was talking to a cousin about this a few nights ago at dinner, and she was very encouraging of me to do it.
All right, I'll get on to our advertising people as well and see if we can get them to sponsor the next episode.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. It would be funny if it came back with 0% Dutch. Like there's just nothing there after all this.
It also tells you like all sorts of weird things about you, like, you know, whether or not you like asparagus and stuff like that. Like it's I wonder if you think I'm joking. I'm not joking. Hang on, let me call up my results.
What do you mean?
here.
How would it? What? Reading your DNA?
Yeah, it tells you. Let me call up my results. It tells you all these weird things about you. You know, it tells you how Neanderthal you are and all that sort of stuff. But
Does it say whether you prefer the Beatles or the Stones, or like?
it says there's a 79% chance that I have little or no back hair on my back. It says that it doesn't always get things right, because it says there's a 63% chance that I have few, if any, freckles.
Right. Does it predict your hair color or anything like that?
Yes, it got that wrong as well. It says there's only a 6% chance that I have red hair.
Oh wow! And your eye color, and
Yeah, it's got all that. It tells you how likely you are to like coffee and stuff like that.
so this is just based on records of DNA. So you didn't fill out a survey that they're collating with the surveys of other people.
No,
And they put this with the DNA.
Just purely on your DNA. No, I can't find it. I'll look for it later. But here we go. I was 98.9% British and Irish and 1.1% French and German.
Oh wow! Yeah, I'm intrigued.
It also tells you here what day you're going to die. No, it doesn't tell you that. But I got this weird message from mine. I don't know if it's a joke or not, but it came from the company. It said, "Dear Brady, we haven't told other people this, but the whole purpose of this program is to find one individual to represent planet Earth at the Galaxy Olympics. After looking at your results, we have decided you are that specimen. Would you be willing to represent the planet at the No, I can't read anymore. It's top secret, but maybe that was just meant for me. Anyway, if you've got any interesting information about your great-great-great-great-grandparents, I always hope I'm getting the right number of greats there. G4. G4's a good name for the podcast.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Instead of great. If you've got any good information about your G4 grandparents, you know, go on the Reddit, send us an email, talk to us on Twitter.
Or post in a sample of your DNA to Brady.
Yeah. Yeah. Or give us a left poke on Discord or whatever. Got your secret words done?
No, surprisingly.
No. Oh, we're back to the good old days.
Yeah, no, that's right.
My secret word from your daughters that I was asked to say on the podcast was great. I hope I got it in.
I write it down here, but I need to. Maybe I need a post-it note to stick it on or something.
It's more fun that you forget every week.
It's not, because it sounds fake, doesn't it? Like it's like, oh yeah, here we go, he's forgotten. But I swear, I try and remember. Right. It's right here.
You get lost in the magic of our banter.
Well, that's right. I know.
Yeah.
I join with everyone in the in the bliss, the glorious bliss of our humour. Anyway, join the club. If other people forget, maybe you would like to write into the Reddits and to Reddit and tell us about things that you forget day after day after day after day.
Have you got the words in now?
Yeah, I do. Yep. All right, let's move on.
Well done.
I wonder if I could become a Dutch rap star. You know, like I really think I could rap this a lot better than I sing it.
Den Sofa is det en vinkel både bag det vill. Det Sofa Shop, yeah, kom in here long. Bearing is en bankentwerp. Passant det på the Jig Superchair. Det Sofa Shop is at golden coop. Ja, hier seht det godt. Stop no dirt. And bear end up there Sofa Shop. Sofa Shop.
All right, nice one, man.
Press stop.
Yeah.